the sky, and kings shall deceive. We have come into the night, thunder and rage and war a night. We have come into the night, thunder and rage and war a night. We'll fight for kings, for Ragnarok. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. The sounds of arms, fierce morality. Nightfall, the rain, and the silence leads. We have come into the night, thunder, rage, and war a night. We have come into the night, thunder, rage, and war a night. We'll fight for kings, for Ragnarok. Shield wall. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla.
All right, welcome everyone to the fifth and final game due to a forfeit game of Valhalla Esports Season 4 Week 1. Tonight going to be casted by Malco and Matthias. How you guys doing?
Doing
Sup,
good,
sup?
doing good. Glad to be here.
And without further ado, I'll jump into the matchup and let you guys take it away.
All right. So this is looking like right here. We got a couple of games coming up. As you guys can see on your screen, we have Goat Kings versus Kraken Slayers. Once again, this is Season 4, Week 1 of Valhalla Esports. As we starting to gear up and get into Week 2, starting tomorrow on Sunday, we want to try to get these last couple of games out of here. So to start with this matchup, we have top lane Goat King Beard, jungle Cookie Meth, mid Envy the Reaper, ADC VF the Lambo, and support the hard way with Kraken Slayers top lane Hailstrom, jungle Tak Alley, mid Astros ADC Critter, support Killer Kumquat. Both of these teams definitely making some shakeups from last year. Kraken Slayers definitely looking to make some improvements from this year, not only looking to only win game twos, but they want to be able to actually crack into those playoffs and really make a name for themselves this year. While Goat Kings is looking to reclaim the former glory from the last two seasons, then being able to not only at season 2 make the make the finals, but also being able to be in the playoffs for last season and trying to make their way to the championship this time around.
Yeah. Personally, I'm certainly new to Valhalla season, but happy to be here. So I don't have a whole lot of history on these teams, but I mean, just looking at them, I'm still familiar with a lot of them. I've gone toe to toe with Reaper, Beard, and Cookie Meth. Critter, who is absolute blast in the Twitch chat, is there. Our very own production Hailstrom is here. So we absolutely get to, ream him. That's going to be great. But there's some new faces that I definitely don't know, like Killer Kumquat and the Harway, Deviet, Flambeau. So yeah, I'm excited for a dope match.
I'm ready
This
to
is going
be
to be fun for you
reamed.
to learn. Oh yeah, it's funny. We got we got Hailstrom on the, so this is gonna be fun to see. Just in general, like how he reacts to certain things from here. I wouldn't be surprised if he just like, so this happened, but at the end of the game or something like that. But it'll be a definite different insight. So with that said, let's go ahead and get right into the draft screen. And just to immediately start off, we do see the Smolder being the very first band picked up by Kraken Slayers here. We do see Kraken Slayer blue side, Goat Kings on red. Then we have the Yon band from the side of Goat Kings, wanting to take that from Astros. We do see Gragas now banned here from Kraken Slayer. And I would also mention that Smolder was banned because obvious reasons. And you get rid of the other Windshitter brother, taking out the Yasuo. So then there's no potential of either one of those brothers making it through. And then to counter Envy the Reaper, you take away that insane scaling mid laner in the Vygar. So what is going to be Go Kings? Oh, and Go Kings end up responding with the Aurelion Soul as their final ban for the first phase. And we're going to start getting into the picks here. And the very first pick being Volibear. Sorry for the for the moment. Just really quickly, Matthias, if you got input here, just to kind of look at these two teams. Oh,
I think he was accidentally muted.
You can hear me now, though. Yeah.
We can hear you right now.
Okay, I'm not going to touch a thing. So sorry about that. Yeah, no, I absolutely started talking, and I was like, "Well, all right, no, Malco, you go ahead, you go, dog." Yeah, it's so funny. But yeah, no, absolutely. Gragas and Smolder have been getting a lot of attention this first week of Valhalla, along with Yone and Yasuo also getting double banned this earlier today. So the Windy Boy, all these cool characters are definitely aware of the meta, and we get to see a Viego pick for the side of Goat King as well. But yeah, I'm super excited. The ASOL band is probably pretty interesting. That must be a Goat King special right there. Or a Kraken Slayer special. That's neat.
I'm actually I was actually very surprised. I don't think I've ever seen Astros on the Aurelion Soul particularly, but it's probably something that they wanted to make sure that they banned. And again, it's another one of those like scaling mid laners that you probably don't want to see someone on and having that late game insurance policy.
Yeah, the ASOL band's actually going against Critter, who's playing the ADC role.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that tracks. I was pretty positive that wasn't gonna be in the mid lane because Envy doesn't really strike me as a big ASOL guy. But yeah, I was thinking about how you could flex the ASOL, and you couldn't send him top lane because he's just too squishy. He doesn't have that peel enough early. But with the support down in the bot lane, that can make a lot of sense. But then we get to see the Ashe and the Morgana locked in for Kraken and Goat King, respectively.
I wonder if this Morgana is actually going to pick for Goat Kings, either going the support or the mid lane role. But I would probably like to see it more in that supportive role, especially with the Samir down there. And with that said, we get right into phase 2 of the bans with Goat Kings banning out Garen. Kraken Slayers now following up with the Malphite Diana being banned away, as well as what are we going to get here? And it's going to be the Anivia, which makes a lot of sense to just have it be banned in general from Envy. Another one of those, another one of those champions that he could just pick up, and it's just like, oh,
yeah. All I'm gonna say is I'm a big fan of the bird. Yeah, I think everybody knows that.
She's a very big surprise. She's such a big surprise when you go up against her, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, we actually are all dying.
Yeah.
A good
champ's insane.
Carry a game easily.
It is monumental. The feeding you can like hemorrhage and put a stop to and recover. Oh my god, I love the bird.
Well, unfortunately, we're not getting the bird this game, and instead Goat Kings decide to pick up the Lux for themselves. I'm likely to see that that's what's going into Envy's hands. And then we do see Urgot and Nico picked up for Kraken Slayers here. Urgot being given up to Hailstrom. That's going to be a very interesting topside fight. And then we're waiting here on the pick for Goat Kings.
No, I was going to say, whenever I play solo queue, I always ban Nico. That champion is, I think, maybe the worst thing to happen to League of Legends. If I have to count minions, if I don't know a ward is a ward, like, the absolute mind shenanigans that I fall for playing against that champion, I can't do it. Some people can. It's not me. It's a really cool champ, and obviously the like AOE team fighting stuff is very good. Urgot's an absolute monster, and we get to see. Wow. I'm just spacing on that champion's name because I don't play top lane. Cassante. Thank you. Goodness gracious. Yeah, we get to see Cassante against Urgot. Any you top laners have an input on that one?
I'm not a top laner, but like I definitely have heard the tear that Cassante has been running as of late in the. So I can see this being one of those interesting picks, but Urgot has always been known as one of those undercover raid bosses, a champion that Riot never really has to touch because he's never really ever too OP. But when he ever is on the field, he's definitely a good fit for the team, and also just something you wouldn't be completely expecting. So yeah, this is definitely looking like an interesting game.
Hailstrom, any comment on the Urgot Cassante?
It'll be pretty good. We'll see how it goes.
Viego, Nico, then we got Ash, or was that Ash Galio, or is that Ash Nico? I guess it's got to be Ash Galio, of course, right? Not Ash Volibear. I don't know. Their team still confuses me.
I honestly think it's going to end up being. I wouldn't be surprised if it is Ash Nico, actually.
I don't have enough information, honestly, on Kraken's team to like make an assessment on how this game's going to go. As far as team fights go, at least, I think Goat Kings is probably a little easier to perform. You got Morgana and Lux for the long range catch, an easy collapse and CC with Cassante and Samira, great collapse and Viego. So like, get a couple catches and have 3 of the other members just like dive in. That's a pretty good plan. Volibear, Galio, Ash, Urgot, Nico. That's going to be a spicy one.
I think Kraken Slayers has a really good team fight team on their hands, so this is going to be pretty interesting to see how they get this out. But
right on. Well, I'm ready to send it. Yep.
I'm ready to get right into it and forfeit at 15. Don't forget, guys, that's an actual name of a team here. And we are now getting right into this first game. Kraken Slayers versus Goat Kings. A lot of fun. I do see that it's looking like a typical 5-point start to begin with for both of these teams. I don't suspect an invade from either one, even though I think Kraken Slayers has the better potential for invading a team, but it's still definitely good to play safe, especially in this first game. You know, just kind of scope everything out, see how the teams want to start out, and then maybe later you want to be a little bit more shiesty with it and try to get a little bit more feisty in that bot or anywhere in general to get some kind of invade and maybe.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay. So Volibear jungle. I guess I totally forgot he could do that. That's the one I was definitely spacing on. But Ash Galio makes a lot of sense. That's a lot of good stick. And Galio Samira Morgana is pretty disgusting. So now this makes a lot of sense.
I'm actually pretty happy that it's the Galio in that sense in the bot lane. It just makes it maybe bot lane that will actually get some like fun out of it instead of it just being play back, because we never know if Nico's a minion right now. And
yeah, Nico jungle is haunting for me. Truly, it is. That is my worst nightmare, I think, when it comes to this game.
Oh, a Nico in the jungle.
Yeah. Because I'm just not smart enough. I don't know how else to describe it, but I get played every time, and because I'm visibly trying to be aware of what is different about my surroundings or the possibilities of that dude being anything other than a Nico. I just no other champ has to worry about that, and that's wild.
Walk up to a minion. I'm just gonna hit that, and then boom, you just get ulted. Like, it's still so much fun getting ulted by a ward, and we do see Hailstone trying to establish that dominance at level 2 and just shredding Goat King Beard down to less than a quarter HP. Possibly could have made a little bit more of that fight there, but wanted to just adjust for the cooldowns. Beard now having to take away at those pots, going ahead and gonna be able to heal some of that health back up, but this is not looking like fun for him, especially with the level of advantage that Hailstorm's currently holding on to.
Yeah, pretty clutch for Cassante to nab the cookies. That was a pretty smart move against this bully lane Urgot. But to be fair, he did just gain like 300 health very fast. That was kind of wild to watch. I didn't expect him to be, still level 2 and still got that much health.
Very easy health recovery.
Oh, look, he's half health. Like, dang.
So he wasn't too worried about it. Ooh, nice spell shield from Hardway to be able to dodge on the taunt there.
Nice, yeah. One thing about Morgana is that she's really good for obviously protecting carries or whatever, but there's a lot of CC in this game that you can't predict. But it's pretty easy to predict the Galio engages, and I think Morgana's spell shield is really going to excel here.
And unfortunately, it's going to end up costing her flash and her life as the first blood goes over to Credit for the side of Kraken Slayer. And now it's looking like potentially a double kill going in as there's no ulti for you to activate. Double kill for Samira here, and Goat King Beard is now being chased down by Hailstrom, trying to get away. Not going to be able to. Hailstrom taking out that kill. Now that's 3 for 0 and a 1.7k gold lead for the side of Kraken Slayer. Strong start to this game, only 4 minutes in.
Both middle laners there getting the read on each other and just staring at each other angrily.
Okay, so I'm not the only person who caught it where they both missed their snares on each other, but then they both landed their AoE damage. Okay, I'm glad I was the only one who caught that. But it's a wraparound gank from Cookie Meth up to the top side. Hailstrom not going to be able to get away. No flash to burn. You're going to try to walk into a brush, but once the vision is got, Cookie Meth is able to eviscerate you. Gonna go ahead and take your soul as well. 1 kill returned over to the side of Goat Kings.
Yeah, they're on the board now, and you like it to be in the jungle. That's the best way to start a comeback, is to put it in the guy that's going to be everywhere.
Which it's definitely gonna, because he's gonna be able to start enabling more of these lanes, which will be beneficial for the side of Goat Kings. But right now, we're already seeing a slight accelerated lead for the side of Kraken Slayer, even though I'm kind of disappointed to see that it was just a straight up boots rush for the Ashe, which doesn't kind of really accelerate your lane in any sense. So it's but maybe there's a secret strat that I don't know. So I'm only in silver, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, the fact that Ashe slows and the fact that she has more movement speed than you do really emphasizes just the kite ability.
Hold on, Tack Alley in a fight, nearly snared, but not going to be enough. Tack Alley going to lose his life to Envy the Reaper. Goat Kings starting to finally show some life here, as now Cookie Meth starting to run away with the Volibear body, and Kraken Slayer is not going to be able to follow back up with that, so they're able to get away with that 1 for nothing on the side of Goat Kings. And they actually escaped with one of the Void Grubs too. Yeah,
that was another good way for Goat Kings to get back on the board here. No other crazy CS differences here at 5 minutes in, so everybody's still kind of laning kind of well. So we appreciate that one Ashe has both of the kills.
Catch him out, but I don't think Tack Alley realizes there's literally 3 of them here from the side of Goat Kings, ready to defend their captain. But I guess that instead of that, they want to now... Yep, so Kraken Slayer is doing the pretty smart move and just turning right over to the Void Grubs and trying to claim those last 2 that Goat Kings were not able. And this will at least help them be able to accelerate the lanes in their pushing power. And this Urgot is eventually going to become a pushing raid boss. So we want to we definitely want to try to get that accelerated as much as possible.
Yeah, so Goat Kings got 1 of them and Kraken Slayer's got 2. Is that correct?
Yeah. Correct.
Word. Yeah, absolutely love to see that. Even 2 Grubby sets up 5, and you can still get some pretty good momentum out of that.
Look at the one that is doing for Goat Kings now. They were managing to secure a plate for themselves there.
Woo! If I'm looking at any lane on Kraken Slayer to kind of help steamroll this game, it's not really going to be the Ashe. Maybe it is the bot lane together, just repetitive kills or just objective control over the dragon. But I'm relying on Nico to roam a lot and make an impact here in the game, because I think once it gets towards later game, I think Cassante.
Quanquag gets finded out by Cookie Meth, and now Cookie Meth is being chased out, exhausted and invis, but not going to be able to save you long enough. Getting shredded down, killing spree for the ADC of Kraken Slayer.
Boom. Yep. Kraken Slayer's getting a little inch by inch. Another kill onto the Ash, and they're going to take Dragon. Yeah, absolutely love to see it.
They're still staying very strong. The beginning of the game, they started off very good, getting a couple kills for themselves, and that accelerated their lead. But then all of a sudden, it's just like Goat Kings was able to turn it around. So I wouldn't count Goat Kings out completely just yet. This is going to be a lot of damage. Envy's not going to be able to get away, but only able to do about 3/4 of the health of them in damage. So right now, the Nico's going to want to run away, as Cookie Meth is now here looking for Astros. Don't know if he has enough mana to be able to use the clone, but instead can just walk it right out, not even needing the flash either.
Yep. Just walk it out. Just walk it out. Ah, man. It's still pretty close, man. It's really hard to like try to break down like where the gaps are. Viego's probably going to need to be pretty active here really soon. But I don't know. Kraken Slayer's late game just looks so much better, I think, than Goat Kings here. I think Goat Kings really need to find something to make this mid game and make some progress.
And I'm very concerned about like late game for the Samira as well. Not because of the Samira who's playing behind it. It's just the champion itself. Like if there's too many ways for them just to rush in and get on top of her potentially and just skirt right past what the little front line that they have, which is just the Cassante, who is looking to also try to invade your backline as well. So if he's already trying to get in on the backline and then everybody else is just jumping in on top of your main carries, this is it's not looking too well, where now you have Killer Kumquat on the Galio, Tac Alley on the Volibear, Hailstorm on the Urgot, all potential protections for these two carries in the mid and ADC role.
Yeah, and then you have the fact that, DPS from Viego and Samira is high, but there are three, and which is pretty uncommon in League of Legends, tanks on the other side to kind of get through. But you do have Cassante, which is, a monster, but he is just one dude. And he can kind of remove, just like that, remove somebody from the fight. But, Lex and Morgana, I think they're going to have to lead on these jungle fights.
I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to be able to get the kill here. Cassante is going to have to, basically use up a lot of resources, and it ends up not really amounting to much. And he gets launched by the pulled in long enough for Hailstorm to be able to secure that kill. 2-1-0, and we do have the engage onto the Lambo here, as the engage goes in, ult used, and still on a rampage, was able to kill them out. The shutdown from the landing onto the Morgana, as she was able to take out the Ashe on the 4-kill spree. Double kill going over to the Morgana and able to get away at bot lane skirmish. But it ends up being the Void Grubs taken, and 5 Void Grubs, I believe. Oh no, 4 only set up, as the ult takes it from them.
So we had the absolute clutch Ashe ult from bot lane, followed up by the absolute clutch Lux ult from the mid lane, just trading R for Rs across the map, making preventing the enemy from getting too much ground. And that's what we just saw. We just saw neither team run away with it. We just saw this game almost nothing changed. And but we do see the Urgot here.
Even Urgot decides to go in on to Cassante once again, but this time he has his own jungler with him, and you're under the turret. Tac Alley gonna end up losing his life as Go King Beard is able to take that kill up on the top side. Locked down by the Morgana snare. It's gonna be Lin Yu for a while there. Killer Kumquat spell immune. Ult up, and right now the Lambo is looking pretty good. Gonna use the cleanse to try to get away, but not enough, as Critter is looking that much better. Trying to slow him down and wanting to chase. Morgana lands the stun once again. Hardway, are you gonna be able to get away from the flurry of arrows? No! More shutdowns is able to go over to Critter, as they're going 6-1-1 on this Ashe.
Shout out to Astros for the Prime sub. We'll give him at least 30 days of love.
30 days of love.
Thank you there, sir. We usually do those little advertisements in between games, but I've been lacking on it. I'm not gonna lie. The little shout outs, the shameless plugs.
No, you call them when you see them. You know, it's not really for the play-by-play, but maybe for some light, for some light color. Thanks for the sub. That's probably my job. That's fair.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's production's job. Yeah, production's lacking on us. Oh, and then speaking of them lacking, they get caught lacking by the Lux Snare into the push on the wall. All these ultis being used to try to take it down, but the Ray Boss is looking like he wants to come first, but it's not gonna be enough. Nearly done, but Go King Beard able to take out that last hit.
Crazy enough that it was even that close. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's absolutely insane that Urgot can deal with
just a black cleaver, but this time Tack Alley is trying to return the favor down on the bot side. The Soul Shackle comes in. 3-man ultimate from the Nico, able to land into the Killer Conquer ultimate. That's such a wombo combo, and we're just watching Gold Kings fall apart as we see 3 get slain in that bot lane, and it's looking like potentially 4 with the dive ready to be set up and in onto Envy the Reaper. The image being juggled up right now. Tack Alley going in, ult used by the Bully Bear, and the kill secured, and that's 4 members down in that extended fight. Right now, Kraken Slayer is absolutely taking away this game.
that Volbear ult coming in very nice for that little dive, and it leads right into a dragon. Kraken Slayer definitely making a lot of right decisions here. The roams are looking good. The ganks,
Nico ult was so fire.
disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Fire Nico ult Astros. You definitely deserve some props on that. Snuck in there, 3 people up, Killer Kumquat coming in. I wish we had the ability to do replays because that was absolutely beautiful. I can't even lie to you, that was beautiful.
Yeah, somebody's gonna clip that, post into the chat. It'll make it its way around. It absolutely will.
Let's wait till like the seer or something. It'll be on the show off your own plays. Which, speaking of which, guys, we do ask for your play submissions. So if you had a seriously sick play, such as what we just witnessed here from the side of Kraken Slayer with the Nico Galio combo ultimate, leading to an absolute win of a fight, you should definitely submit those to them, and they might be on the seer the next time you watch.
Let's see. Now we have the 7-1 Ash, right? She has Kraken Slayer and Sheen. Is Sheen?
Trinity?
I'm not an Ash main. I'm not an Ash main, but where is Sheen going? Is that Essence Reaver, I guess, with the crit? Oh, with the Q. Okay, all right, never mind. Yeah, all that sounds right. Okay. Wow, that's just so weird to, I don't know, see Sheen on that champion. That's weird.
I mean, Sheen does still give CDR cooldown, right? So that would actually kind of
for sure.
Yeah, so it actually helps with her arrows and stuff because eventually it doesn't really cost too much to do everything. And then her ult being up like every 45 to 60 seconds eventually is going to be great.
Yeah, I'd love to see the locket on the Galio, Landry's.
Oh, that spell shield. But I hate for the Lambo to get absolutely taken down. Critter still on a rampage. TP coming in. They see the TP though. Go Kings trying to make something happen, but with everything being seen, Kraken Slayer's bot lane is able to get out safely, and now they can stick around. That's a TP used by the top lane too, and now he has to just walk it all the way up, wasting time for the jungler who has to now guard the top lane as well.
Yeah, and this is also free Herald here is what it looks like as well from the Valhalla Bear. Kraken Slayers, again, making a lot of right decisions here.
Able to get that first turret blood for themselves. Now the bot lane has the freedom to be able to roam however they want to. This is going to be easily enabling Kraken Slayers towards a victory. Right now, we don't see like any. It doesn't seem like that they're doing too bad either from the side of Goat Kings. I kind of feel bad that the bot lane wasn't enabled enough, but we do see now a 2v2 fight, trying to run away as they saw the Volley Bear absolutely running on all fours. Oh man, I was expecting that fight to go somewhere else, but instead it completely turned around and said, nope, we're good.
Yeah, Kraken Slayer is not giving it an inch here. They don't want to make any mistakes. They don't want to throw their lead. So if they have to, pull out at any second, then that's probably the safe move. You don't want to risk too much in any of these series games, for sure. If you just practice safe play, unless you're just like crazy in head like this Nico is doing right now.
Yep, and that just absolutely, unfortunately, the Lambo now getting their gold reset at that 0-5, now sitting at 1-5 because it ends up being a kill for them onto Astros. And that actually is gonna be sometimes that's all the Samira needs is just one kill. Samira is one of those champions that's kind of like Yasuo in a way, or Alawi in a way, where they can go 0-5, 0-6, get like an item or two, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, why are they 5-5? Oh man, and then all that banter ends up leading to a kill. As Goat King Beard probably thought he had a little bit more health to fight off, and ends up getting executed by the Hailstrom on the Rainbow.
Raid boss production manager Hailstrom. Admin, sorry, not manager. Admin Hailstrom. Oh man, it's 2 drags to none. They did give up a kill there, but they took one. Ash is still kind of flirting with this Morgana here. Misses the Q.
I think that's I want to say this. This is the way Critter's playing. It's pure confidence, not only in themselves but also in their support, who's literally right there, ready and waiting. Like there's not a time where Critter is up where that their support is not there either, or at least within close vicinity where Critter doesn't feel that they're in danger of being jumped on or something like that. So it's not even I don't it's interesting to see them stepped up, but it's been very clear that they know what's going on the map. That's good awareness.
During this lull, catch the gold diff there, Hailstrom. We are looking at from top down. Urgot's got about okay. Volibear is down about 500 or so. Nico is, and Lux are about neck and neck. Ash does have
about 2 Gs.
What looks like 2,000 gold. Yeah, ahead of the Samira, which is pretty feisty, and then Galio and Morgana are pretty much there and there.
Right now, I'm just waiting to see. Oh,
it's only close still because all their eggs are kind of in this basket, and if they can keep healing for the Ash, then this is gonna be a pretty clean game. But there's a lot of potential with the Lux and Morgana to catch her out.
Yep, and if one of them locks them down and Samir is actually able to get in there, it could be a
easy
absolute
collapse
problem for them.
Yep.
So that's what I'm kind of waiting for right now. Is Critter's kind of in the weird. I'm gonna kind of make it weird right here, but it's like Critter's in the standards of like, yo, let's go ban for ban right now, and it's like but Samir is one of those champions that you can go ban for ban against somebody 3k gold up, and for some reason she still wins. So yeah, this is, as you saw, Goat Kings were able to actually push Kraken Slayers out initially for this fight. They don't want to just take it, at least not so abruptly. But even though the team's behind, they're still, there's at least showing some kind of challenge.
Yeah, they're definitely, there's not even an objective bot lane right now. Not for another 2 minutes, it seems like. And they're, oh no, Dragon is up, sorry. They're floating around the idea of just trying to get Qs with the Lux and Morgana. They're not trying to take the Dragon, not trying to force anything. They are really just trying to use that long range and then just collapse when necessary. They don't want to commit too much either. Because,
you're right. The poke is good.
Yeah, and it's in their position, being behind. You don't want to give up too much, but as long as you get a route like that, you can still collapse, and not risk as much. So they're very low risk, high reward catches that the team can collapse on, and that's just a really good way to kind of bounce back. And then obviously a good way to stay ahead is to get vision advantage and set up motions like that where you can catch 1 or 2 people at a time.
And yeah, like you mentioned, the poke being there, that actually kind of saved them in that dragon positioning, because you notice how Attack Alley was sitting at about 2/3 health, Nico was sitting at about half health. The constant poke coming out from Morgana Lux being on such low cooldown and such actually decent damage from them actually helped stop that fight from ending up with a dragon and potentially Kraken Slayers steamrolling more of this game, taking another Drake and being able to wipe out their team. So at this point, I think Goat Kings are actually turtling pretty well. They've been able to stem the gold lead to only 2.5k behind, but even then, that's not even a full completed item for most people. So it's actually not too bad that they're not even that far behind, to be honest. But we do see this Drake starting, and Killer Conquad's able to keep them off. Very well timed right there, and being in the right place at the right time, able to take that Drake extremely quick. And now they're looking like they're trying to go up towards... Attack Alley is going to start warding up towards the Baron, I believe, which is definitely a good idea, especially since now we are at that 22-minute mark.
Yeah, you usually see, even like steamroll games, you might see, 18-minute,
Mhm.
third drag situations when both teams are prioritizing it. But when you're dancing around dragon like that, to still have 3 dragons by 22 minutes is absolutely insane. And by the time this gets to 25, 26 minutes, it's going to be real hard. They get to trade a Baron for a Soul and cement that part, or they can trade a Dragon for Baron in either way. So it really opens up the map for abuse, or at least to line up a play style and kind of commit to it, or
Yeah,
take
so
advantage of it rather.
at this point, it's what's going on is that they don't really. Oh wow, Astros nearly taken out, and the Lux is gonna want to continue to chase. But what you don't know is that Tack Alley is here for you too. Ults in, wants that Lux to go down, and Lux is gonna lose their life as Astros able to take that one, but not without having a close call themselves.
Yeah, Astros was just out of range for most of the abilities, and then that Volibear got to lock her down and set up the Q for the Nico. Great teamwork. Nico needed another kill. Volibear probably not so much, although he is going for all these damage items, and not AP, which is very interesting. I'm excited to see where this build goes if we get to see more than 30 minutes of this game.
Honestly, I think we'll see upwards of 30 minutes to this game. It's just more of, I think at this point, Goat Kings are kind of having an unpinned hand grenade in their hand at the moment, and it's not even trying to like sound like I'm flame. It's just
No.
right
You're
now,
letting them cook. They're cooking.
yeah, they got it. And I'm just wondering, is it gonna get thrown or is it gonna blow up in their hand? And that's kind of what we're waiting to see here for the next couple of minutes. Again, 3K down is about only one item up, and that's not just all on one person. So
Yeah.
I think
that's the thing, though. You see, that's the thing you gotta understand, that most of that is on the Ashe over the Samira at this point. And so it really is just an item on a champion. If you're looking like across the board, no one has more than, not even half outside of, Ashe on either side. And so outside of the Ashe, both teams are pretty even. As far as like they're doing,
what are you doing? Oh, you had Hailstrom right behind you. He's going in for VF the Lambo. The Lambo uses the ult. Not gonna be enough. It's Hailstrom able to take him out, but Go King Beer fighting on the bottom line, trying to take out Hailstrom. But we do see Viego getting taken down, and Hardway also taken down too. Go King Beard not gonna be able to take out Hailstrom, and now he is able to run away. That extended fight now stopped. He's looking to try to get the Nico, but Astros is still safe and is able to get away 3 for 1 in that fight, as the only person lost is gonna end up being the jungler for the side of Kraken Slayers, and they want to actually start this Baron, which I believe they can do, but it is kind of risky with the Lux being right there and her having her ulti up, so you gotta be ready for that.
Oh,
This
yeah, here we
stolen
go.
Baron, this can literally, a stolen Baron can literally turn this entire game around. Their
It
whole team
certainly
is coming
can.
too. Oh, here it comes. 3, 2, so close! And Hailstrom nearly loses his life, but blue team, Kraken Slayer is able to take that Baron at the skin of their teeth. Oh man.
Wow. That. Oh man. There were, let's just say, some missed opportunities by both parties right there. That is a true 50-50 Baron. And it probably shouldn't have been.
And I know right now, Goat Kings is probably sitting there like, damn it.
Oh my gosh.
Damn it.
If I'm Envy, I am just, oh man. I feel you, brother. I do.
I'm so sorry, man.
But still, a lot of that gold is on Ashe. But Kraken Slayers is doing what they're supposed to do. They're playing around the Ashe. They're playing these death ball kind of situations. She's got Kraken Slayer Triforce Terminus, which is an absolutely disgusting build when you have like on hit slows. Like you're never touching her if you ever find her like with 3 tanks in front of her. There's just no way.
Oh, Nico
so they're
in the
doing a
wrong
good
place at
job
the
of
wrong
executing
time, but
their own
Volibear
plan.
is here to help as the ultimate is able to land, sniped and stunned, and then taken out by Astros as the Viego is gonna go down. Cookie Meth is taken out, and so is Go King Beard as he catches the chains like his ults and goes down. Hailstrom. That's gonna be 2 kills given right over to the side of Kraken Slayers. Even though they ended up losing their jungler in that one, it still ended up being for the better. They might have to also end up losing their mid laner too.
Oh.
Shut down. But this is going to be for what cost? The soul, as we watch it slowly take down and eke to its death. The soul has now been claimed, and Kraken Slayer is wearing that Chemtech Drake.
That is a spicy Drake for this team as well. You know, for all the CC and catch that Lux and Morgana provide, this is going to help mitigate that a lot. And yeah, and the shield power with both Volibear and Galio and Nico. And doesn't Urgot have a shield? Yeah, Urgot got a shield too. So they're all benefiting from both Chemtech Drakes. And that's a really that's a lot of buffs behind this team that already has what looks like a 6k gold lead almost. Yeah, 6k gold lead.
Yeah, and right now, and that's the funny thing, because both of these teams could have easily, like, they could have both been very man, this is unfortunate, Reaper. I'm so sorry, my man. Yep. But Critter's just gonna end up taking a life there, and that's now dominating Ash, excuse me, on the side of Kraken Slayer. This is gonna be crazy to see how self-sufficient their bot lane was. I don't remember really Tac Alley ganking that much in the early phases of the game, maybe once or twice, but he did have 3 deaths. He was 1 and 3 for the longest time. Those ganks he ended up paying for most of them. But I mean, being, you know, still going Deadman's first and then hanging on to, is that Divine Sunderer? Is that what that is, or is that the half item for it? I think that's Sunderer, or that's not Sunderer. That's I can't remember the name of it for the life of me.
Yeah, that's the half item or whatever. Yeah, the mid item that builds into it. Either way, it's still kind of like health oriented and I guess it's heal focused on the W. That's so extreme. I would love to. I have to go back over Volibear's stats to figure out how that kind of mellows out, because that is a very interesting build. And speaking of interesting builds, the Liandry's coming through on the Lux to kind of help chip away at some of that poke damage. You know, trying to siege some of these towers. But the ability for Nico and Volibear to turn off a tower and just engage and still have some long range catch with the Ashe ult, and even some of the Nico E's It's pretty spicy, the situation that Goat Kings is in, particularly at the moment. We do see the IE finish for Samira though, so those ults are still kind of coming through those team fights, but it's still 3 whole tanks. Like, Samira has a long way to go, along with Lux, even with the Liandry's, before they're making an impact on any of those health bars.
I was just about to say we do see the 3rd item coming out for the Samira, but is that going to be enough? Is that now the power spike that's needed for one big team fight to turn everything over? But your Samira can't even look at the Ashe in the face and be able to fight her. I don't know if it's gonna really look too well in a team fight either.
And neither can your Lux, not with the Liandry's. If she would have went Storm Surge, the extra AP and added damage might have been enough to take down the Ashe in that particular moment. But you really got to get like Lux and Morgana to land enough CC on Ashe to kill her, and that's where this is going to start. You need that shutdown gold on somebody to help kind of project this game into a forward momentum. But I think Kraken Slayers is one Baron away from just closing this out, which will be up in 2 minutes.
Yep, and it's already hard enough for them. As you already just seen, we had to see the mid and top laners sent down against Hailstrom to be able to try to at least stop him. And he's right now playing raid boss mode. He does not care. He wants to just keep pushing into this bot lane, keep bringing up that pressure. Now you're forcing the jungler up here. That's going to be extremely annoying. He might die. He might give up his life here, but it's going to end up being at least something else to be secured.
That's a lot of damage.
Oh, man, so much damage coming out. And that's going to be the suppression into the chains. Hailstrom played it like a mad lad to be able to take out the kill in the 1v2.
Yeah, let's give it up for him. That was an incredible one. Pushed Cassante out and then got the clutch chains on Viego to prevent any more damage. That was so clean. Oh man, that was a lot of fun to watch. Absolutely. To be fair though, he's 6-2. He's got Jack Show. He's got the split pushing item. He's got Cleaver. The dude's a little thick right now for sure. He is definitely raid boss mode. And that's where you see that, the goal finally spreading away from just the Ashe. They can start having an
Oh.
impact in multiple lanes.
Thought they were going to end up catching the Lambo out, but instead, he doesn't get snared, has the flash, but Casante's there to help you out. Immediately gets caught up under the Lambo. He's going to end up not getting any ultis, but Tak Ali instead is going to be able to take that kill. Suppressed once again. That ult is already back up as Lux gets taken out by Hailstrom. This is what they needed now. They're just trying to push forward and push further as Hailstrom gets caught under the turret. Big Galio ult comes out, only lands onto the Morgana, but that's just meaning the rest of the team from Goat Kings trying to fight and find some way into this game, and unfortunately leads to their demise as they push in and start taking out these towers. The first game is looking like it's going right to Kraken Slayers.
Yeah, that whole fight started out as what was basically a 2v5, and when you're that far behind, you can't afford anything like that, and that was a great catch by Kraken Slayers, and absolutely deserved that dub.
Congratulations to Kraken Slayers now not needing to continue the trend of only winning game 2s. Now having the ability, now we see that they can definitely win some game 1s.
That's a lot of fun. If I'm Goat Kings here, I guess now in hindsight, the team comp makes a lot of sense, knowing that Volibear can jungle, and I just totally spaced on that. That's a pretty thick comp, and that's a lot of mobility in your jungler. It's a lot of CC. It's just a lot of safe team fighting. Now, if your Ashe isn't, 10-1 in that situation, I could see that, being a little bit more Goat King's favorite, but that's still the emphasis on, those pre-25 minutes, snowballing that can kind of help mitigate the better team fighting from Kraken Slayers in the end. If I'm Goat Kings here, you might still go with a similar idea, but you could, maybe execute a little bit cleaner by having a little bit more pressure early, forcing a little more roams, focusing some more tower dives on a specific lane, maybe committing to a specific lane. But yeah, well done by both teams. That was a lot of fun. Goat Kings did not make it easy for them, that's for sure. They were there neck and neck the whole, or what felt like, some scary situations. They really did try to pull this back.
Oh yeah, that's what I'll definitely say. There were some times where I was looking at it, this is not going to go well, and then all of a sudden it turned around. So I think for Goat Kings, I want to see, in this sense, a little bit more DPS come out of them. If you can get something that can dish out a little bit more damage at a more constant rate, that'd be great. Like, I don't know if the Lambo was able to pick up the Jinx. I know people are hating that character right now, but that might actually be a pretty good champion to play into this. Kind of get yourself some type of hyper carry.
Right. Well, as far as a draft goes, them being able to pick 3 tanks into a team that kind of wants to poke and catch people out, and as long as they did, just protect the Ashe and kind of fought around her or whoever their carry was, that's just like a good quote unquote like counter draft to that idea. 3 tanks are absolutely going to be able to frontline and protect and take those cues from the Lux and Morgana and fend off a lot of damage. So they've got to really either emphasize the pressure early game, which is not an easy task to pull off. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of faith in your teammates and, a lot of practiced timing. But I definitely think they're capable of it. They had a little good ideas, but just a little bit faster paced, or they just go for a little more team fight oriented build, because I know Critter is an absolute killer ADC that can run away with it. Hellstrom's a comfortable top laner. If they go like a 1-4 strat, I think they're perfectly capable of that.
Like the way you're speaking, definitely showing some praise to Kraken Slayers, but we definitely got to give some faith to Goat Kings. They might have just, faltered in this game 1, but I think in game 2, they're going to be able to pick something up and then definitely go rolling with punches. Whether or not they win or lose, it's going to be a hell of a fight. The first game definitely had some scary moments, as you said, which allowed us to kind of have more of an exciting game. We weren't just like expecting it to go completely one-sided. But this time, I'm expecting a hell more of a brawl this time around, and I want to get right into that game 2 draft so we can start going right on into this.
Right, my bad. They have switched sides as far as like red and blue sides. When Hellstrom was on the right, I was looking at their team calling out their positions. absolutely meant VF Lambo in there and Goat Kings. I'm sorry, it's Kraken Slayer is an absolute slip of the mind. My bad.
Well,
Sorry about
luckily this time
that.
it's actually is switched, so Goat Kings will be on blue side this time. Kraken Slayers on
Nice.
red side. So so we're good with this one, but we're starting to see a lot of the same bans
You
from
just
last
set up
time.
me in the intro or the mid game. That was rough. That was a prank. They got me.
They were able to switch it up on you. But Goat Kings banning out the Yone Yasuo and the Aurelion Soul. Kraken Slayers banning out the Smolder, the Gragas, and the Vigar. So same exact bans from last game. Not really surprised with either one of these, especially considering that you don't want to allow Envy onto the Vigar. Vigar being a champion that just as much damage as he does, he's also got a lot of map control in a sense. So you don't want to allow them to be able to have some kind of control. Go Kings, though, taking the Volibear this time for themselves away from Tack Alley on the side of Kraken Slayers. And we do see Kraken Slayers picking up an unexpected pick, the Warwick.
Ooh, Warwick is a very interesting pick. There's a lot of cheeky things you can do with that champion, so I'm really curious if that's either top or jungle and where that can go. It hurts, Tack Alley says. Noted. Looking forward to
Looking forward to it. Oh, boy.
it.
So then they're going back to the Galio once again for the
Yep.
side of Kraken Slayers. Go Kings definitely having some ability to adapt a lot here in this game. And I'm already seeing again them picking up the Volibear this time around is definitely a great adaptation over the Viego.
Yeah, Galio being a great team fighting champion, whether he's mid or top or support, he's a lot of fun. But we see the Leona, the queen of lockdown, lock in for Goat Kings on top of a Volibear. That is a super scary dive.
So basically, this entire game is going to be Go Kings showing, literally looking at one person and saying, "Hey, you have been selected. You're not allowed to play League of Legends."
Oh man, Zaya, a great pick with that kind of front line. I absolutely love this
Man,
change.
I'm really starting
Goat
to
Kings is
gear
making.
toward I'm gearing towards Go Kings on this game already just because of that composition. The
Yeah,
in Kraken Slayers to adapt to that, they decided to go with the Jinx over the Ashe. I'm actually very surprised that they decided to do Jinx instead, which I feel like that needs more of a protective type of support. So maybe the Galio is sitting as a flex pick for right now, and so maybe Kraken Slayers can determine whether or not they want to actually put it in the bot lane or not. I'm not sure here.
We see a Trundle ban, which is another flex pick. Then we also see a Malphite ban. So they're kind of still focusing on the top, and yet, yes, the Anivia ban is still taken away. Absolutely respect the bird pick. And then we see Diana banned away as well from the Kraken Slayers. I think Diana and Trundle are pretty good answers to Goat Kings, especially since earlier today we saw Diana go this Jack Show tanky Conqueror build. And I think that would do really well into maybe not so the highest DPS tanks and be able to contend with them. A good Bruiser Diana build. But we see that Urgot locked in for Kraken Slayers. I think that's really a good Bruiser answer. I know that him and Volibear can go neck and neck. Colette is a really cool pick here with Goat Kings, giving another speed up boost and a clear engage for the Leona and Volibear to get in favorable positions, and a great way to get to the Jinx, voiding the Gallia and Warwick. And Vex,
Way to just
another
get
great
immediately
dive
into
follow
that
up
line.
champion. This Goat Kings draft is looking so good right now.
This Goat
They
Kings
got
draft
DPS, they
is-
got burst, they got shit tons of CC, super thick. Again, the 3 tank kind of approach. I know Kled isn't, not tank, but basically a tank the way that champion's set up. And then Vladimir. Ooh, that's really neat too. That can dodge a lot of that CC and amp the damage from his team that Jinx and Urgot can really spit out. This is cool. I like a lot what's going on here.
This is cool what's going on, but I might have to give it to Goat Kings on this next upcoming on this next game. It is that composition. I'm not gonna just at least to me is
Yeah. Yeah, that
It's
looks-
leagues ahead of what they went with from the first game. Like they just made a complete and utter change, and now it's probably gonna lead them to a game 2 victory and us having to do a silver scrapes. This is
this
I'm just
is
saying it right now. I'm not trying to. I'm
yeah.
not sports betting or nothing. Like no joke, we're probably going into a game 3 with the way this competition is set
I
up.
agree with you that Goat Kings has a much easier and straightforward team fight to execute. I do agree that Warwick doesn't do a whole lot into that team. But there is still room for Kraken Slayers with the Vladimir and Galio. Because that is fair that Go Kings will be able to converge kind of on one spot. That's a really easy way for Galio to kind of help his team. And Vladimir being able to pull and dodge a lot of that, or at least predict a lot of that. If they can do a Jinx can stay far enough back and they can peel for it, man, they have a shot. But I mean, based on draft, it looks like Goat Kings has the better one. But just to oppose you, and because I think I have a decent amount of faith in the Vladimir Jinx and the spicy Warwick, I'm gonna go with Kraken Slayers.
All right, all right. You know what? That's fine. I just gotta listen, man. Just the way it looks, and I can already
It looks
see what's gonna
gross. I
happen.
agree. It looks gross. I can't deny it. That
And
is.
I can already
I
see
want to
it's gonna be
draft that in solo queue and not feel like that'd be an auto win. There's like no way in solo queue somebody has like an answer to that with Kraken Slayer's team, just on like execution alone. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's tough. That's real tough to not see Go Kings.
it'd be
But yeah,
very
let's get
tough.
into it. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready here too. Like that's gonna be very tough to sit there and say that Go Kings can't win here, and something just tells me the plan is gonna be okay. Critter was a problem, so we need to not let that be a problem again. And I think that this time Go Kings is gonna really start tackling towards that bot side, which is something that in the past Go Kings as a team, we can start loading into the game at the same time while I'm talking about this because this is not gonna interrupt nothing. But the Go Kings as a team in general has been known to more focus on their top side, and they want to make sure that as long as the top side isn't on fire, mid top jungle, then the bot lane is able to play more weak side. They're able to play a little bit more to themselves, and that should be able to the way they win. But this time it's looking like Go Kings is starting to realize that maybe a little bit more emphasis, especially in this current meta, needs to be put onto the bot lane to be able to start winning more of these games, which is why we see this more lockdown, damage heavy, really be able to skirmish 2v2 type of bot lane coming out of Goat Kings with the Xayah and Leona.
Yeah, classic, no invade start here. I wouldn't want to invade either team, to be honest. There's just too much that could really go on. Especially with like the Kled and Leona from Goat Kings, but on the same tune, Jinx, getting excited off of First Blood or whatever could just be an absolute nightmare for the rest of Goat Kings that didn't have easy way outs. So I respect, no shenanigans this game, just trying to keep it both teams slow and steady, trying to build it up and, do it the right way or do it the lame way, I suppose.
Well, no, you're right, because no joke, either one of these 80 carries getting ahead is going to turn into a problem for either team.
Yeah.
We've seen a Xayah can completely start to shred through people. Like, it's scary. Like, she just puts out 2 feathers, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, I'm dead? And you never knew what happened. But same thing with Jinx, where she could just all of a sudden 3 rockets, boom, 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 you're gone. And all because you're like, wait, when did this happen? Well, Jinx has been ahead for a little bit because remember what happened early in the game? So, like, everybody's trying to prevent these mistakes. Yep. And Go Kings especially, they don't want to make any mistakes right now. They don't want to just give up a 2-0 in the first week. They want to make sure that if anything, if Kraken Slayers is going to be able to win this, they need to win it by fighting them. And I think that's at least what, right now, Go Kings is definitely going to give over to Kraken Slayers, but Kraken Slayers is not, they're not going to make it easy for Go Kings to win either.
No, and we're not pro players, right? We're not getting paid to play this video game. We're doing this for fun. We love this video game. It's a lot of fun. And you want to try to limit the amount of unfun moments in these games because we're still in season, this is the first week of Valhalla, so we're still gauging our teammates, their tilt capabilities, their mental, and how they operate in these games. And plenty of people I've played with, when things start going south, they either tilt or they shut down, which is way worse, so we're avoiding any of that is ideal, because you don't want to figure that out too soon. You sure don't. Or maybe you do, and maybe you do. It's game one or week one to flex that out, but I like the no invade, despite what Hellstrom in the chat is voting for.
Like, it's just really fun to see some of the chatting going on right now, especially considering we do have quite a few of the people from the team in there. Hailstrom, okay, so looking like the focus on the top side. He might actually be able to get away from this unless the bear trap on a rope. Not going to be able to land, so we're going to see that flash being used. Tack Alley making his way up towards his top laner, but that was probably a really bad idea for you to be right there, Hailstrom, as first blood is what you give up over to Cookie Math and Goat Kings.
Flashing away from the tower, or like towards the tower, and then walking south to try to meet up with his jungler is pretty interesting considering the health he had and who he was facing. Not, reaming, I guess, let the reaming begin, I guess. I'm sorry. But, that should have just been a walk to the tower, with the DPS they're putting out. Early, Urgot didn't have a whole lot. He even back and got a longsword, so he's still zero durability.
The favor. Are you going to be able to get it? Yes, they are. Tack Alley this time, returning the kill and evening up the score for both sides. Looking exactly the same now as they're able to take that kill on the Goat King Beard.
Yeah, there's the revenge. There it is. Even though that kill wasn't in top lane, they're both 0-1-0 with relative CS, although, if Hellstrom gets it back here, Kled's TPing in, so technically Kled has, I guess, a long sword over the Urgot. Seeing the Dorn shield against the Urgot is really cool. A lot of these top laners going for the sustain versus the Urgot, but Warwick here in the mid again.
Having to flee. I'm surprised that they didn't want to try to push that down a little bit more. I feel like Warwick could have maybe taken one more, but they didn't get to blow anything, so Envy the Reaper is able to get away with everything scot-free.
Vladimir's range surprises me every time I play against or see the champion. That W blast hit from what I thought was probably too far away, and it still snags. So props to, looks like Astros on that Vladimir range indicator.
Now we got a spicy once again up in this top side, but we do have it looks like Astros is making his way over there to him. Even though Tack Alley gets taken out by Goat King Beard, it's still gonna end up with Astros being able to push them out of there. Killer Conquest up here too. Oh man, a whole ways made from the bot side, but Hailstrom losing a lot of health and looking like he's gonna end up losing his life. His Cookie Meth's able to take him out. Killer Conquest and Astros now trying to chase down Goat King Beard. Hopefully gonna be able to get him before he can get Scarl back, and he does end up getting him while taking out Killer Kumquat. And wow, Astros unfortunately gonna end up maybe almost losing your life. No, the pool able to save you, able to dodge out. Reaper having to use his flash to go ahead and get away from the Warwick, but that doesn't mean Goat King Beard's gonna be getting away. Goat King Beard giving up his life to Astros, and now this game still looking extremely even after that extended grub fight.
Yeah, that team fight or that fight lasted forever. People re-entered the fight, even with dead timers. It took 6 minutes, not having home guards and whatnot. That was a very long fight. But you would see as the end result, more than anything, Vladimir coming away with 2 kills and absolutely not punished for it. So an early shutdown capability is already available for the Vladimir. Has yet to back 50 gold, 2 kills. He's feeling pretty comfortable coming back to lane against this Vex, even if she is still deathless. She got a boots, which would help with some mobility, trying to keep range against the Vladimir. But the fact she got a Sapphire Crystal and nothing else really combat stat wise, Vladimir getting a Haunting Guys and a Codex. Yeah, Vladimir's really set up for this lane. And like we saw earlier, Vladimir being able to dodge the Urgot chain and continue chasing and zoning out. Really, really cool stuff from Astros here.
I really do like the fact that the mid laner went something that can be a little bit more self-sufficient for them and not had their team having to worry about whether or not they're going to be alive. Can they dodge out on this? Are they going to be... It's more like now there's less of a factor to have to worry about when someone can be just that one person on the map. And again, now Vex just going back. Oh, Killer Kumquat able to land a lot on the VF the Lambo, but Tack Alley just going ahead and turning around onto the other targets. Killer Kumquat trying to get away, thinking that the Cookie Mech was going to come straight to him, causing him to go back and forth. VF the Lambo able to take out Killer Kumquat down there in the bot lane, while Tack Alley ends up also getting slain by Cookie Mech there too. So Goat Kings still looking very, very good here now. They're starting to show a lot more presence this time around on the map.
Yeah, that was a very clean plays, and just a testament to the hard way. Leona 3-6, still so tanky. She was taking damage from both Jinx and Warwick, and walked away still with 3/4 health. That's going to be a problem if that tankiness goes unresponded to. Now we're going to see perhaps some like bot Rick type stuff from the Warwick. We're going to see Black Cleaver stuff from the Urgot. So there are going to be ways to kind of break those tanks down. But early game, yeah, Goat Kings is coming out with a really spicy tanky comp.
This is definitely the change that they needed. They were looking to try to win this game and trying to advance to a game 3 in this series. It was gonna have to be the two of them, or just the team itself, being able to adapt and make those changes that was gonna be needed, and that was mostly just the team composition. This time around, it's a much more easily simplified team composition that actually does a lot of things very, very well with few downsides. So this right here is probably one of the better times for Goat Kings to play.
Yeah, we saw last game that they were trying to get a poke strat and a catch strat and maybe these jungle skirmishes that they could kind of get ahead on. But when they saw that Kraken Slayers wanted to team fight, and they were cool with that, they think they could outmatch that, then they just picked an equally strong team fighting team. And Kraken Slayers kind of lean more towards the counter engage, which is pretty neat. I'd expect kind of the game to go kind of the way it is if the mistakes were made as they were. But I still think that mid game and potentially late game, Kraken Slayers with proper movement can really punish these dives if not done correctly.
And honestly, the Jinx hasn't really been affected by anything currently on the map as of yet.
True.
Oh, hold on. Jumping over the wall, trying to be able to get at least something. He's here with his jungler. Gonna fear them away, fighting over the grubs. Hailstrom gonna miss it. Jinx being able to get the rocket. But Hailstrom's able to take out the enemy jungler, and Goat King Beard having to run for his life, running right into the arms of Hailstrom and giving Tack Alley the kill. And now these are also gonna be the Void Grubs going right over to the side of Kraken Slayer. Is that gonna be all 6 for them? No, one gets stolen. 2 of them actually got stolen from the side of Goat Kings. So it actually ends up being a 4 for 2 on the Void Grubs here. But Kraken Slayer making a very big play for themselves, and even when seeming like they were behind, they still take these absolutely bomb fights that you would think they're not going to survive, and they do.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. That counter engage and the slipperiness of some of the players that Kraken Slayers has, I absolutely expect that to be a big factor in these fights. Absolutely insane snipe, by the way, from Goat Kings hard way on Leona, getting that last grubby with it. But yeah, they took the first one, and then Leona got to steal the last one. That was a very clean play to prevent any more grubbies going big enough. But yeah, like you said, they're fighting over the objectives. They're making everything fight for everything, and even still, it's a very close game. Even still, 1 kill down, they're still 500 gold up. With some of these CS differences, Xayah having near 20 plus CS over the Jinx, and then Vladimir having another 20 CS over the Vex. Those things do start to add up, but it's anyone's game right now. We see the Tiamat and Boots completed for the Warwick, and we do see the early cleaver for the Urgot, an absolute clutch item for him against these tankier setups, being able to burst through them. And yet another AD Volibear. Whoa, I guess I'm missing something. I guess AP Volibear is not cool anymore.
I guess not, because this is at least personally to me, this is the best for Volibear that I've seen. At least in the state that he's been in. He doesn't feel too overpowered, but it's just like playing against him is still a terror. Oh, can he get the last bit of damage? Yes, he does! And the 1v1 solo dolo going right up the Hailstrom as EA takes out Goat King Beard, catching him with the chains once again.
Yeah, executing the Kled always feels super good because you can ignore all of the ride BS, Scarl, yeah, all that Scarl BS. Super clutch by Hellstrom there, getting another kill, having a little bit of a shutdown available for himself. Very, very well done. But again, like we said, Jinx is still unaffected really by any of this, other than just being down a little bit of CS. So she's not out of the shut down or out of this game, or she's definitely still on track. But Volibear coming in for a gank mid.
Too bad Astros was fully prepared for it. Got hit by the little bit of damage and fear from the Vex, but it doesn't matter to him as he's able to just go ahead and be able to walk away from that Volibear without using it in a single stun.
Nice little what we saw right there. Although he went the sorcery tree, he went the Magres shield keystone or a rune, and that's really neat. I really like that against these bursty champions like Vex, especially when Vladimir, when your whole thing is sustained. That's a really cool hit. But we do see the Rift Maker confirmed for the Vladimir, and his slipperiness poses a big problem for this Xayah.
Oh, hold on. Hailstrom being caught between two now. This time he's in a 1v2, and I don't know if he's going to be able to take this fight against the two of them. No flash or anything up. That's going to be the shutdown going over to the Volibear. But I think that's going to be worth it to them to start their own Drake stacking to the side of Kraken Slayers. And actually, here we go. We might be able to see a kill go over to the Jinx potentially as she finally gets one. Yes, she does and gets excited. That's exactly what the Jinx was looking for. Already having the static completed on that side. But she's going to start to definitely barrel down a little bit more. Critter may be behind in the CS department, but she's not behind in the... Oh, actually, never mind. Now she is behind. Behind in the gray screen, that is, as she get hit by the Vex ultimate. Not expecting for that to happen, but there's still a lot of health to be taken. Tack Alley snared up and under the turret. That's going to be so much more, and this is... Wait. Oh, why?
That was an interesting play there from Killer Kumquat. To really go in. I get their low health, and I get Galio, has some pretty decent base damage, but it was a good effort. I guess he realized he maybe wasn't walking away, but I don't know. That was interesting. But here we go.
Oh man, right now Goat Kings are starting to turn it up on the presence on the map. Volibear just everywhere, starting to get these kills, translate the gold right back to them. Now Goat Kings is actually in the lead after all those shutdowns and everything. They are up just over 1.5k.
Yep, and unlike last game, it's split over 2 champions this time, so they are able to affect multiple lanes earlier during this game. So I'm excited to see where this Volibear is going to take a lot of this gold. But Urgot's still a menace up there, just putting down so much pressure onto this tower and the Kled, and that will collect that for him. We'll be able to walk. Oh my gosh. What is that damage?
Now there's 3 people on top of Hailstrom. Hailstrom really wanted to try to get that kill. Flash used, flipped over, but it ends up being his death. Waited too long to try to kill Go King Beard there.
Yeah, and those kind of things is what Kraken Slayers, those kind of small gold leads and be able to spread that damage. That's what they're going to be able to need to do or they can't afford to do that. Giving away these leads, they get to pop Herald top lane and take that tower, and then they're sending it down once again. Vladimir may be able to catch this Volibear here, though, but we see another fight bot lane. No. Yeah, Kraken Slayers mid game is going to be fine, but the fact that they're behind kind of delays that and gives Kraken Slayer more of a chance to form this death ball comp and be able to claim objectives and run down some towers.
Vex being chased down, not gonna really be doing a lot of damage it feels. Jinx is able to secure that last kill with the last hit of the zap.
Yep, Xayah walking away from the previous fight 3-0, and Jinx picking up a kill there kind of keeps this still well within anybody's game. Their 1k difference, even at 17 minutes, that's not a whole lot to really have an impact, but we see a re-engage here on the bot lane.
Up here's a re-engage, but that's going to be a lot of damage still coming out from the Xayah right there. not going to be able to really translate into anything for Critter. And we do see Hailstrom probably going to end up losing his life here as they start to chase under the turret. Yes, gets chomped on by Cookie Meth as the Volibear goes on a rampage. But now also looks like he wants to be able to fight on the Warwick too, but bit off more than he could possibly chew as Goat King Beard now also barrels it down, but not going to be able to get Scarl in time and end up losing his life as well. Oh man, look at how they're starting to turn this around from Kraken Slayers as they're just looking to chase people down and out. We saw more kills going over to the side of Kraken Slayers this time, trying to bring back that gold within a certain lead. And it is definitely brought back within half of what it was before because it's sitting at about 700.
Yeah, we saw Zaya back prematurely and Leona not go back with her, and Jinx get delay on the back and try to run her down. Pretty good delay, and missing the ult there at the end is just tough. But Zaya coming into this mid-game 4-2 or 4-0-2 with Nabori Quick Blades and Kraken Slayer. This is the mid-game that Zaya players look forward to. They will say this champion is now completely and utterly online. That is going to be a problem for Goat Kings to be able to collapse. But the built-in peel that she has is definitely going to be a problem.
Yeah,
but here we go on collapse on her.
Ganged up on the moment you get collapsed on. Still able to take out one though, as Killer Kumquat being still a little bit squishy, gets eviscerated by that 5-1 Zaya.
Yep, doesn't make it easy on him, and that lead is definitely why she was able to kill the Galio there, him going locket. But absolutely, well played by the Zaya, and at least get something on the way out.
Like some pain in this game at the moment as the hard way gets taken out by Warwick, and now we do see the chase as the spear is sitting inside of the Volibear, but not gonna. It's at a little too long, so he's not gonna be able to actually be drawn in with the chains. But it might be the Drake right here for the side of Kraken Slayers. They're starting to really turn this around. They actually have the gold lead back in their favor. 50-50. Blue team steals the Infernal Drake, but at the cost of the life of Cookie Meth. At least that's only the second Drake of the game and not somehow the third. So they still have a way into this game, but now the Drake stacking slowed down a little bit for Kraken Slayers.
Yep, Go Kings benefits a lot from that, and it being a Infernal Soul for this game does a lot for both teams.
Goat King Beard going in immediately with the Kled ultimate, gets the taunt onto them, taunts up the Lambo. The Lambo lets the feathers fly, now chasing down Hailstrom, need more damage coming out from Critter. The Lambo able to take out Hailstrom there, but now Pack Alley looking like he's going to be able to do it, but Killing Spree able to be secured by the Jinx, but they also end up losing their life to the Kled. Now the Lambo losing their life unfortunately to the mid laner, and now we have more of a fight as it continues to extend. The ult charges just landing here from the Vex, causing that fight to continue, and now Astros is getting chased down, stunned up, locked up, and bopped and dunked on. Now it's going to be an ace for the side of Goat Kings after that hyper extended fight where people were just dying, coming back, and slowly but surely trying to make something of a win here. Hailstrom going in once again, definitely trying to do a little bit of damage. Looks like Cookie Meth gonna lose his life here to Hailstrom, and looks like Goat King Beard might end up losing the same. Oh wait, hold on. Backing off. Instead, he's not going to end up taking that fight. Oh, he does end up taking the fight, going in, and the Reaper loses his life, and so does Goat King Beard, while Hailstrom is still able to walk out no problem.
Hailstrom, my guy. Stop steroids or the cocaine or whatever it is, because that is an absolutely insane plays. Oh my goodness, absolutely well played, and what a retaliation in momentum after being down 5 kills and that amount of gold, getting the return shutdowns. And again, Hailstrom, incredible juggle of health and CC. Really, and I'm not gonna lie, as soon as I thought he was going in, I'm like, oh man, he's gonna go down again. But absolutely incredible. Still anyone's game at this moment. Absolutely anyone's game.
Yep. I want to see this Galio. Oh, he already has the Bramble. Perfect. That's what I was hoping. I was hoping to see the Thornmail starting to come out from the Galio soon, especially with the Lambo doing so much damage.
Yeah, we see both now Jinx being 5-2 and Xayah being 7-2. These team fights are really centered around their 80s carries and peeling and protecting them. The Vladimir now completing Liandry's. If I really hope he goes Rylai's next. That would be an absolutely stellar addition. Amount of CC and amount of like peel for his team to be able to do that. I think that would be just what this Jinx needs to help peel away, especially after getting a kill. If once she gets excited, I don't think there's anything really stopping her. Even the Xayah, I think the damage output is just totally different.
Oh,
But yeah,
man,
still
I feel
absolutely
so bad for Critter here, but it's able to get away as they jump under the turret, trying to get more of them. Taunt coming from Killer Qualmcott under the turret, and still Cookie Meth taking so much turret damage. Critter gonna be able to be in the back there, get a little bit of an assist onto it, but now taking a kill onto the hard way. Goat King starting to fall apart. Envy the Reaper gets taken out, pulled in by the chains. Hailstorm able to get that kill, and Goat King Beard trying to do something in the back line, but it's not gonna be enough as Critter's going on a killing spree, evening it up with the Xayah, and Hailstorm now taking another kill for himself. Double kill, not gonna end up losing his life to the turret in the single digits, and it's actually gonna now be the Baron as they go for a clean ace from the side of Kraken Slayers.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was talking about. The way they're able to juggle the CC, even Goat Kings with this absolutely insane team fight comp, they have got to focus all of their CC chaining CC wise, because all of their DPS isn't crazy high. With really, Xayah being the main carry here, Kled does do a lot of damage, but trying to juggle targets is going to be difficult, and that's what I've been trying to keep an eye on here. Now with a 5.5k gold lead on the side of Kraken Slayers, they are exactly where they want to be as far as how this game state is. We still see 2 dragons on the side of Goat Kings, with the other one available currently, and we're going to see how this develops. If they can get 3rd dragon pressure here, then the next Baron becomes very, very volatile.
And this is usually the pivotal moments, is around the 20 to 25 minute mark, where the gold lead really does start to matter. Like if you see a 3k gold lead at like maybe between 10 to 15 minutes, you're kind of like, oh, okay. But instead, the Lambo now getting ganged up on, having a lot dropped. The feathers dropped on him, but he loses his life to Astros. Now Astros having to run away because the re-engage coming out as Kled is jumping right on top of Critter. But Critter now ever so much protected. Astros gonna have to lose his life, but Critter now sitting in the background, able to do more as the rampage comes out from Critter, sitting there behind. Tack Alley able to slay down Goat King Beard, and now Envy is now being targeted by Tack Alley as they jump on top of him, trying to chase them down. Slowed down by the zap. Double kill going to the Warwick. And now Kraken Slayers looking so damn good as a 4-for-1 in the overall fight. This is their Drake, and is now potentially going to end up being an ace as the team gets cleaned up from the side of Goat King Beard, as the ace is secured by Critter.
Yeah, that's a gigantic momentum shift in this as far as everything goes. And that's the one thing Goat Kings, their team highlights is if they don't protect that Xayah, if she gets caught out, then they don't have near the DPS to deal with the slipperiness that Kraken Slayers has to offer here. Goat Kings really has to shape up. There's still, it might be a 7k gold difference, and that really is shining. But with the chain CC that Goat Kings has, one well-performed team fight against any of these guys, and that can absolutely change. With these long death timers, they're still very much in that if they can pull together their team fights.
And that's just it. There's still the execution of how team fights go for the side of Goat Kings. If they can execute a team fight well, I mean, it's very hard pressed for them to lose. But now we're starting to get into the territory of the stat checks, because you're seeing now Xayah a level behind, Envy now being 2 levels behind their laner, Tack Alley being a level up on Cookie Meth, and then now Goat King Beard being 3 levels behind Hailstorm. Is actually kind of hard when you're looking at these stat checks, and the barely nearly takes it as Xayah is able to shred that HP enough so Envy the Reaper doesn't lose his life to the execution there. Oh, but instead ends up losing his life to the Rocket at the last second. Thought he was getting out, guaranteed the high fives were going on there, and then boom, that happened. Galio ulti used here to go ahead and just give a little bit of extra resistances to Astros, much needed for him. But now there's a fight under the Goat King's turret, but it's looking like a lot of health actually ended up being lost by Goat King Beard there. He had to get out. Ult being used and dunked on to the side of Kraken Slayers. But VF the Lambo now being here, gonna be able to deliver that extra damage that was needed. So much gold given back right over, and especially since they're going over to the 80 carry. This is one of those major fights that you literally just said was needed, and it was just shown. As long as they execute well, there's no way that they can possibly lose.
Yep. And that's yeah. I mean, I guess I said it and then you said it. Well executed team fight from Goat Kings here is monumental. Even Kraken Slayers can't afford to be alone, and they've really got to focus their synergy onto this Zaya like this Urgot is right now.
No, she cleansed it? Wait, what happened there?
So check this out. Yeah, so Urgot did get the chains onto the Zaya, but there is a channel on the chains before it pulls him back in, and during the ult, Zaya got to dodge the yank because of the invulnerability of her ult. But then she got sniped by the Jinx rocket from downtown, and that is such a sad story to that incredible outplay.
The story of the ADC where you can literally dodge everything perfectly and still die. So it's
yeah, I meant to say this earlier, but Q Hobbit feels super fucking ADC. Like when Zion got caught out earlier, like that's just the crux of it. You can be 9-3 with a 300, 450 gold shut down and 4 items and cracked out of your mind, but you get one of these bruises on top of you, and there's just nothing you can do. Urgot absolutely obliterated her when he was in range. So you really still got to focus around your Zaya. That absolutely has to happen, despite the Bloodthirster, the ult, and all the movement speed and agility she gets.
It's a very scary sight here, knowing that there's this very fed Zaya on their side, and it's not able to do exactly what they want it to do. And I think that's mostly just because of the fact that they just can't get the type of team fights that they want. We saw where the Leo ult into everything, just like how everything just encompassed up in that top side, and it was able to bring them a really good fight. But they were still 5k gold down at that point, and now we're sitting at about almost 6.8 to 7k gold down because they're getting caught out in other fights. Like, Goat Kings are finding themselves trading, like, they get good fights, but then they're trading it right back to Kraken Slayers again, causing it to constantly even out these fights. So they need to look for a really big objective fight, whether it's at Baron, whether it's at the next upcoming Drake, or they just got to find a really good pick onto a carry. They definitely want to make the target though Critter at this point. 13-2 on this Jinx, maybe 60 farm down, but that doesn't matter when your team is winning. You still got the damage to prove it.
Yeah, let's get a gold diff check right quick here, Hailstrom. With the TP now going back mid, Urgot just trying to get away safely, not
Jinx
knowing that most of their members are still
Zaya
on
technically in gold.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, let's see. Across the way while this Baron, it looks like
He
he's going to be
goes
contested.
in and he claims it! The Baron stolen from over the wall, taken by the whole blue team. But with 2 people caught up in the middle there, that could actually spell disaster for the side of Goat Kings. With 2 members deciding to go over the wall together instead of it just being 1, it could be extremely hard to fight a 3v5 in this situation.
Yeah, a 3v5, although they do have Baron, which can stall some of the minions out, they still have plenty of clear to deal with it with the Jinx and the Vladimir.
Yep.
But this set is, like we see, securing the 3rd Drake for Kraken Slayers. But yeah, now to this gold diff part, especially after that fight, we see overall about a 7k gold difference, and the majority of that is being covered by what looks like top lane with a 5k gold diff. So this Urgot is huge with that 80 CS lead over the Kled here, almost 100 CS lead. I forget what they call that. I wish I had that in my pocket.
I kind of feel bad for
chat. What do you call that when you get 100 Horizon?
Yeah, Flame Horizon.
Flame Horizon. Yeah. Be able to do that, even though it's 32 minutes. Even still, it's absolutely incredible.
I feel bad for Beard here because it felt like he was constantly trying to play for his team in this game, Like, he never had a chance to really split on his own, and that's just something that Hailstrom was able to make use of the entire time, being able to split on his own. And Dag Alley gonna end up losing his life there, but I guess it at least leads to a top lane inhib being taken. Oh man, Speedy Volley Bear going all the way in, but Jinx gets actually tagged by the Vex there. Run away, Jinx. You actually have a chance now. You can try to get away, but you might not be able to. Flashed in, turn around. Oh no, with no tower, you're just gonna have to kite this out, baby. That's all you got the choice to do. But it ends up going legendary as you end up taking him out. Double kill, shutdown going over to Envy. Oh my god, so well played by Critter there. Absolutely insane. Hardway, are you going to be able to get a kill for us here? No, they actually are ganging up on you now. So close to take it out onto Astros. Killer Kumquat is looking to roam just as you were too. And that's a supportal combat kill given over to Killer Kumquat, taking out the hard way. And we do see the solo dolo once again taken by Hailstrom. Is that like his third this game? Because he takes it again with the execution.
Wow, Jinx putting up a stellar performance.
Hold on,
there, but
we're gonna see it 1v1 again against the Xayah here. Sterax gets taken down, but Xayah doesn't matter. This dude does it in between the Nexus turrets even. He says, I don't care, I'm the raid boss here. I am the captain now of the Kraken Slayers, and that means more is gonna be coming down as, wait a second, the game is already turning around, but Hailstrom still showing some absolute life. They just can't kill this Urgot. They go for everyone else, but the deaths don't keep coming, and instead they keep coming for Goat Kings. They don't want to see any more of this. The blood has been spilled, and all of it is over. When I was confident in a game 3 happening, instead I got shut down, and it went straight to a game 2. 2-0 for Kraken Slayers.
Gross.
Absolutely, they can still win game
turn of events. What an incredible macro from Kraken Slayers that have been able to juggle all that. But yeah, Jinx being an absolute monster there in the end game, kiting back the Vex and the volley the whole way, getting the Zonia. And that's what I thought I saw. I thought she had a Zonia's. Or maybe that was I guess that was the Vex. That Zonia's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was okay.
Yeah, she got her Guardian Angel blown immediately the moment that she tried to engage on a Hailstrom. That was, oh man, dude. That you two, I hope you two were fighting over who was MVP of that one, because that was,
yeah. Let's go ahead and get that MVP vote going, because that I can't have input. I don't know. Like, both teams played really, really well. But Kraken Slayers, like, we saw them get a little behind early, but you know, the way they got to handle those team fights, the Vladimir putting out insane damage. I wonder, right quick, can we get that's a screenshot, I imagine, so we can't really see like a damage charts or whatever, but I'd be really interested in see what impact Astros had with the decap Liandry's Riftmaker. Man, just a well done fight. The poll is up. Let's see who we get votes for. Wow, that was so incredible. That was so much fun. We have to give it up for Hailstrom. The guy just didn't go down. And despite the 8 deaths, you just did not go down. You had the Jack Show, the Karnak Rookern, the Sterix, the...
I'm not going to lie to you. I think
venting
Hailstrom was part of the reason why they could play the way they played.
What are you going to say, Hailstrom?
I was venting a little bit, to be sure, at least early on.
Yeah, Urgot doing Urgot things for sure. If I'm you played it back to back, I believe, both games, correct?
Yeah, I was honestly somewhat surprised they did not ban away game 2, but I was happy to play it again.
And it's actually a tie in the MVP vote between Hailstrom and Critter.
Yeah. Those last 30 seconds from Critter were pretty freaking incredible.
Got the tie. I think Critter is he in game? Where is Critter at? Is he in Discord?
I haven't seen him chatting, unfortunately.
I don't see him. Well, I can be the stand-in for us since we tied.
Oh, there he is, Critter. He is in the chat. Oh. Critter, get in here.
I'll drag him up too. Which chat is he in?
Oh, he was in Twitch chat.
Oh, jump in one of
He's
the
giving me a
chats in
crap.
Discord, Critter.
Number 2 in kills and KDA. Nice.
Yeah, you just gotta
He says
overcome duck butter toast to this point.
he says he can't, unfortunately. So Hailstrom, you
Okay.
are the
No problem.
resident interviewee. So outside of what you would call maybe feeding on the
Well,
Urgot.
You guys called it out during the cast. That first fight where I flashed away and I was completely safe. I just kind of decided I would fight it, and then I died, and I was like, I probably shouldn't have done that.
That was what was completely expected. It was just like, oh, okay. Well, he did it. It's all right. It's all right.
Alright.
This is okay. I honestly, it's actually really funny to watch how you played that Urgot. This is don't expect to get that again. I'm already expecting bans from that.
Well, everyone's been banning all of Astros' champions, so if that keeps up, then I'm gonna have a fun season.
Yeah.
So
and
you guys
Astros
just want to
seem very
lose in the top lane, is
comfortable
what
out
you're
there.
saying. You want everyone to lose against you in the top lane. Just give them the Urgot.
I would love for everyone to lose
Cyrus.
against me.
It's old man Dyrus in the top lane all over again.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, he's gonna be
I thought Beard and I were gonna have the island, and then game 2, Cookie kept coming top to gank me. I was like, this is very rude.
Oh, now I have to turn on raid boss mode. I was
But,
giving you guys a chance.
I do want to shout out Beard. He'd only been playing top for like a week or two at that point, and I think he played very well
Word.
for having to be off role. So,
Absolutely.
shout out to him. And
Absolutely. If I'm Go Kings here, go ahead.
Critter out of his mind with all those cross map ults on the Ashe
Yeah.
and the Jinx. Hit like at least 3 of them that we saw on the stream. So he was definitely playing out of his mind, and then whole team played really well. Good job, team. Appreciate you, boys.
Yeah. Crazy
Work,
snipes
work.
from Critter. It can't go unnoticed. If I'm Goat Kings here, those are still great fights. I wouldn't be disappointed in the way we played at all this week. I think it's a lot to build on. I think it's very simple mistakes and very easy things to work on, very constructive stuff. If I'm in their boots, maybe practice a little bit more on communication as far as like when to commit and whatnot. They're still very clear on objectives, but how they pilot those objectives might need some work. And I know that's different every game. But maybe a little clear shot calling there and a little more focus, and that cleans up so nicely.
Yeah, for sure. I think they played really well. They ended up with like a little bit of weird lane assignments for him, but definitely were doing a good job with it.
Yeah. And I can say this all now casting all of week 1 for Valhalla. What a pleasure, first off. But I'm so excited because like even though 2 of those were 2-0s and the other one was a 2-1, even the 2-1, the fact that they were kind of blowout games individually, both 2-0s were very close games for most of the game. And you just love to see that. You absolutely love to see that. And those late game decision makings are what make and break good teams, and better teams in better situations. And absolutely looking forward to the rest of this season, including tomorrow, correct?
Tomorrow will be the start of week 2, where we should have some live games going on. I believe there's a vote up now that Blitzkrieg put up if you want to vote for what game gets live streamed. So if you're wanting to watch those, make sure to get your vote in there. And after this stream, I'll need a little bit more setup time, but we're going to do the Seer to review this week of games and look towards week 2, along with finishing up the Los Nomadas Bomba Bros series, where we were able to watch game 1 and 2 live, but the client bugged out on us, so we'll watch the final game along with looking at all the reviews. So be sure to check that out. Once I have it set up, we'll go live again, and then be ready for the live games tomorrow.
So
Any idea what time the live games are tomorrow?
The
Or
live
is that
game
still
should be at 9 p.m. EST roundabout. That's when the
Yep.
standard game time is. If
Cool.
ever
Cool.
a game time changes, we'll be sure to post it, but that's a standard time for the live games.
casting
Killer.
desk has not been
Awesome.
decided yet, so if anything, the spots are open, people.
Yep. Spots are open for casters. If you're wanting to get in there and get some games in, make sure to respond when we're looking for casters.
I've been hearing that we're starting to get some more shoutcasters, so that's awesome to hear that, some people want to start being on the action piece of it. That's really cool. So yeah, guys, definitely get in there for the production piece of it. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun over here on this side.
Yep.
Come to the dark side. We have cookies.
Lemons.
I was 5 CF off of the Flame Horizon for this game, so I needed to see us a little bit better, but we did our best.
Damn, I didn't even realize that either. Jeez.
Yeah, he was. I think at one point he did have it pushing a wave, but I think by the end of it, Kled had the chance to catch back up with a lot of the waves crashing.
Yeah, Beard said, "Not so fast, Mr. Hailstorm." But yeah, if you're all interested for the Seer, just keep an eye out for announcements. It'll probably be within the hour to start it. And like I said, it'll be a quicker Seer since we've now watched the replays from all the games, and we'll see the final game of Bomber Bros. Los Madness. But we'll catch you all later. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you shortly. Bye bye.
GG.
I never thought hyenas essential. They're crude and unspeakably plain. Maybe they've a gleam of potential. If I lied to my vision, their brain. That your powers of retention are as what as a warthog's backside. As sick as you are, pay attention. My words are a matter of pride. It's clear from your vacant expression. Lights are not all upstairs. But we're talking kings and successions. Even you can't be caught unawares. For the chance of a lifetime, be prepared for sensational news. A shining new era is tiptoeing nearer. Just listen to nature. I know it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues. And justice deliciously squared. Be prepared. For what? For the death of the king. Why? Is he sick? No fool, we're gonna kill him. It's in my tomb. Great idea. Who needs a king? No king, la 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 la. Idiots, there will be a king. Hey, but you said I will be king. Stick with me, and you'll never go hungry again. Is littered with prizes, and though I'm the main addressee, the point that I must emphasize is you won't get us left without me. So prepare for the coup of the century.